Hello, and welcome to Force Options Training Podcast. Over the past few years, there's been numerous organizations that have popped up offering defensive tactics training and seminars to police. Now, often police are hesitant to spend the time and money to go to one of these if they don't know anybody that's attended or they've never been to one themselves. So on this episode, we're going to sit down with Bryan, who's a fellow police officer here in Canada, who's going to give us a review of a recent defensive tactics seminar he attended in New York City held by BJJ Cops. I'd like to welcome Bryan today on the podcast. Bryan is here. He just recently attended a defensive tactics course that was offered by BJJ Cops in the Big Apple, New York City. Bryan, but before you introduce yourself and before you get started, hot off the presses from our sponsor, Wild Boar, you're going to be the first to get an official Wild Boar t-shirt.
Incredible.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that.
So
Love to put it on.
excellent. Well, you can do it afterwards.
Looks great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
No, well, thanks for coming on. Bryan, as I said, just recently got back from New York City where he attended a course. Bryan, before we get into that, I just want you to give a little Cole's Note bio of yourself.
Yeah, so I've been a police officer for 5 years now. Worked for a federal agency here in Canada for the first couple of years of my service before transitioning to working for a municipal police service here. Yeah, most of those years were in patrol, on the reserve up north in Canada, and also in the big city here.
Nice. And then, so you're currently in patrol. You do some work with the Force Options unit.
Yeah, I have a background in jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, and I've been helping out here at the training center with some control tactics training.
All right. So recently you were in New York City. Now, full disclosure, you weren't sent there to go to this course. You just happened to be in New York. Was that it?
That's right. Yeah, I was planning on doing a little bit of a vacation in New York and saw that the course was going on at the same time. So it was a good opportunity to get some training in.
Excellent. All right. And so we'll go ahead. And then again, this is your unbiased view. You're not sponsored by anybody. You weren't sent
no affiliations
there.
here.
You paid for your course.
That's right.
Excellent. All right. So if you can just go quickly, what was the course that you took?
So it was a course put on by BJJ Cops. Brendan Oliveira is the black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt that sort of is the founder of this. He was putting on a ground control course, sort of a control tactics course in New York City. It was held at Renzo Gracie's gym in Midtown Manhattan.
Nice.
Amazing facility. Very, very nice. Legendary if you know anything about jiu-jitsu as well.
I remember we had a little discussion earlier about that, like what it felt like kind of going into the Mecca there.
Yeah, the Blue Basement. It was it's amazing. And just knowing the history and the guys that used to train there and then that are major now in the jiu-jitsu world, it was really cool. Very nice mats, high quality mats.
Nice.
I've never felt mats like that before. Yeah, it was a great experience being there.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so moving into the course, it was a 4-hour course, covered a wide range of techniques. We started with a lot of stand-up techniques, sort of escort grips, into Russian ties sort of stuff, into takedowns, a couple options from that escort grip, moving into arm drags, body lock takedowns, etc. And then we spent some time doing weapon retention. We had some time doing ground control tactics, team tactics as well, and then sort of some light scramble. What's the word I'm looking for?
Kind of
like a light rolls over the weapon retention. So it was a good time.
And so you said 4 hours.
Yeah, it's about 4 hours.
Okay, and then how much did you pay for that?
It was $100 US, so about 140 Canadian.
About 2 million Canadian.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. After the conversion.
All right, so $100, not bad. How many people do you think were roughly there?
There was about 90 police officers there.
Nice.
They were expecting 120, but a few last minute cancellations.
As there always is. Okay. Just to give the listeners kind of an idea, did they start from standing? Did they start from the ground first? How did that?
Yeah, so we started with standing techniques, pretty much, again, from that escort grip.
So everything was kind of start off, which the escort grip, and we all know in policing is kind of like our go-to. It's the start of many things that we deal with.
Yeah. So everything sort of branched off from there.
Nice.
And essentially the whole course was based on options from sort of each reaction that the subject would give us. So what we focused on in that 4 hours mostly was sort of that arm pulling in. So their fist coming to their chest, so that you've got a 90-degree problem.
When I talked to Clyde Milligan in an earlier episode, when he was at the police academy in British Columbia, he did just an informal kind of survey with people, and every time he'd get a class coming through, he'd have just that first touch and escort grip. High, like 90% of the people would pull their arm in, as opposed to what was always being taught, where if somebody just keeps their arm straight and then they try to pull away. But it's usually once that touch goes on, majority of people just pull that arm in. So it's a good place to work off.
Yeah, and it actually opened my eyes to a lot of different techniques from that position. Because here at this agency, there's about 2 options that I can think of right off the top of my head that I have from there.
Yep.
But this course gave me about 2 or 3 more.
Nice.
Which it was immediately applicable. Just the day, I think the first day I came back to work after that course, I used one of the takedowns immediately. Nice. So it's easy enough to apply, simple enough to remember, and we just drilled it a couple times and it stuck. So
nice.
It was great.
You mentioned kind of the Russian tie kind of grab, which I'm a big fan of.
Right.
And I noticed you guys did some stuff in there. It looks like you guys worked a lot of partner stuff.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of team takedown. There was a focus on team takedown and team control. We also did a team control against the wall, sort of a double Kimura into arresting someone against a wall or a car.
Yep.
And then also an option if the subject braces themselves against the car with their legs. So what to do in that scenario, because that's applicable that we may not think about as well. So it's good to cover that.
I know at our department we do a lot of training with team takedowns and control because we have the numbers for it. I believe with your previous agency, you probably didn't do a lot of team partnership takedowns or control.
Correct. Yeah, a lot less for sure. There was not really the option for that in most of the places that we worked in.
Yes. So it's important because, as we always see, when you have a lot of officers, sometimes too many chefs spoil the broth. And then I always liken it to the ending of Braveheart, where they draw and quarter them with the horses. That's usually what it looks like when you have more than one cop trying to control somebody on the ground.
Yeah. Someone's got to take the head chef position and
yes,
quarterback position, as you could say.
Awesome. So you kind of went over what you guys did. A lot to go in 4 hours. So what was what was your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway, I would say, well, for me personally, it was just that the options from the escort, not from the escort, but from that
pulling in,
the position of resistance where their arm is pulled in, because it's a very common position for us in policing, and just having that 2 very strong and simple options from there. Like now they're my go-to options from there.
Nice.
Which I can use. And one thing that Brendan said while we were there, which was really good, was he mentioned that this 4-hour seminar is not, doesn't make you, of course, it doesn't make you an instructor, it doesn't make you a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but really what it's meant for is just an eye-opener for the general police officer that doesn't train jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
Right? Because a lot of the police officers that have attended have never trained a martial art. And it's meant to be an eye-opener. What techniques are out there? What can help you? What training can do for you if you choose to train jiu-jitsu in your lifetime.
Yep. So that was your good takeaway. Was there anything that you thought was so?
It was just a lot. It was a lot for 4 hours. There's a lot of techniques we're drilling with a minimal amount of time. So gotcha. I think for someone who doesn't have a jiu-jitsu background or doesn't have a force options background, it would have been hard to retain everything. Where because I've been exposed to jiu-jitsu prior and a lot of techniques in the past, it was easy for me to apply them and to retain them.
Sure.
But for example, my partner from NYPD, he was having trouble keeping up with the pace because we were just going through stuff so fast. So it was a little bit quick and dirty. So that may have been tough for some people.
Sure. It is always tough trying to put it into 4 hours. And,
Right.
and I know when you're trying to put on a seminar, you want to give as much as you can.
Yeah.
So maybe suggestion that I'm taking away from here is maybe just to focus on a few less techniques. And
yeah, the big ones. I did enjoy that we had options for everything, and
Yep.
I recorded them on my phone as well, so I can always play them back. But
Yep.
yeah, it was very quick for sure. I
Cool.
think when they do a training day with a department, they do an 8-hour day.
yeah, I think that kind of helps. It's always like we always say, it's a matter of finding training time and what we teach and
Right.
where you throw it in. So good. Sounds good. Good positive. And you went there by yourself. You had nobody else.
Yeah, no one else.
And everyone was pretty chill when you got there.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, people from all over New York, a couple people from New Jersey, a couple from Boston. So cops from everywhere. We had a couple of cops from Montreal as well
Perfect.
there. So yeah, it was a good show. 90 cops. So.
No, and I think that's important too, because like sometimes people are like, I don't know anybody else there. I don't know if I want to go. Like, who am I going to end up with? But it's good to hear that everyone's kind of on the same page and everybody just wants to train and learn.
Yeah, super welcoming, and I made a good friend from New York, NYPD now.
Nice.
So it's good for networking, and people loved our gear,
Yes.
our department's
Oh,
gear.
good.
They were asking about it as well. So
Awesome. Yeah, it's always great. Like every time we had a chance to go train out of the country, like it's pretty cool just to talk to people and see where they're at and what they're doing. And
for sure.
so overall, thumbs up.
Yeah, I'd definitely recommend it. It's can do no harm. It'll show you some new techniques, and there might just be one technique that you'll use moving forward. But I mean, honestly, for $100, for me, it was well worth it. I've got a lot of techniques. Again, I've been using them on the street already, so
Awesome.
and it's only been a week.
Yeah, it doesn't like you can't. I don't know if you can get much more of a 5-star recommendation if you come home literally the next day and you're able to throw some of the techniques on the road.
Yeah, and it works. It works. And one unique thing about that course actually was there's a new law in New York where you can't place pressure on the sort of above the waistline, so anywhere in the torso area on the back. What he did was catered it to that.
Nice.
And then showed us options for both for members that were not in New York, for members that were in New York. So
Good.
that was good as well.
Well, and that's important because at the end of the day, like as much as we sit there and shake our head and we can't believe that they throw out stuff like that. Well, we have to adapt. So we can sit there and complain about it, but if the decision's been made, now we just have to find ways to work around it. Yeah. So it's good to hear they're touching on that, and I think that probably applicable in more places, just New York.
Right.
But I know in law it is now. So something I think every department should have some kind of alternate to.
Right. But in a way, it's almost a beneficial thing for us, because what I saw when I was on that course was new techniques, right? Mm-hmm. That we never used before. And I was thinking about how we could incorporate, like a high-low for what normally we would do is control the shoulder, control the arm in that posted handcuffing position. But a secondary partner could come and place the knee on the butt as we're doing as well. So now you have control for the whole body, right? Rather than just the upper body. So just new ways to look at things that we haven't maybe thought of before because we're just so used to doing what we do.
Yep. No, that's awesome. So we'll have to have you in the gym and we'll watch. I've watched some of the video that you brought home, but we'll have you on the mats and showing us what you did. On that note, we're going to call it again. This was your unbiased view. You received no kind of compensation from anybody other than a T-shirt from Wild Boar, which is a sponsor of the show. So thanks for coming on, and we'll probably get you on again sometime.
Awesome. Appreciate you having me.
All right. If you attended this seminar held by BJJ Cops or any of their other seminars, you can post them on my Instagram here at Force Options Training. Again, I would like to thank Wild Boar Social Club. And remember, stay safe out there.